Good day, everyone, and welcome to a CDL webinar. My name is Dean Hollingworth, and I'm the Director of High Performance and Fitness at Club CDL. Today, we're going to be looking at exercises to help prevent lower back pain and even in some cases, help alleviate it. Lower back pain affects 85% of the population, so let's take a good look and help you with your lower back pain. It's a good idea to take a look at the joint-by-joint concept that was created by Dr. Gray Cook. He demonstrated that the body is a system of joints stacked upon one another, alternating between mobility and stability. Here we see that the hips are meant to be mobile, while the lower back is meant to be stable. Problems come about when the hips become tight, forcing the lower back to do things it doesn't want to do. This webinar is going to look at how to help your hips move better, be strong, and help you avoid lower back problems. Now that we have a better understanding on how the body works and a better understanding on why we may have lower back problems, coming specifically perhaps from the hips, let's look at exercises to alleviate this hip tightness, increase the mobility. So a great way to start is with foam rolling. So on a foam roller, we're going to sit, I'm going to lean my body weight onto my right glute, hand down, keeping nice posture, and I'm just going to roll forward also slightly until I feel an area that is, let's call hot, which means pain, and I stick on it. So I'm going to sit here for perhaps 60, 90 seconds until I feel the pain decrease. As I feel the pain going away, I continue my journey, if you will, and I find the next one, also slightly. We don't want to rub the fascia back and forth. We just want to be able to work it out slowly. Once you feel good with that, we can then take the ankle, place it on the knee, and come down a little further as we go. Now, for a lot of you, this will be more painful, this position. This opens up the glute, and we can access some of the underlying muscles. And again, the same procedure. Both of these together could take a few minutes, so be patient. For those of you that aren't really experiencing any type of pain with that, we can go to a massage ball or a baseball, lacrosse ball. If you're going to use a tennis ball, it has to be pretty new. Otherwise, you're not going to get the effect. So, again, here, underneath my glute, and just lean on it. And you can tell by my reaction that this is really something for me that is effective. Again, the same procedure of moving slowly as you do this exercise. Take your time doing both these exercises. Once you've done foam rolling, we can proceed to the stretching. Now that we're done our foam rolling, let's look at 3 exercises that we can do to really help alleviate the tightness in our hips. First off, the very traditional figure 4. Placing the right ankle on the left knee, head is down. Some people that are very tight may need a pillow for their head, which I really advise as opposed to having your neck very uncomfortable. You can either grab the quad and pull it in, getting a very nice stretch on this hip. We don't want to see the lower back really come off the ground. So as I'm pulling in, I'm trying to maintain my lower back flat on the ground. Now for myself, I can reach my shin, and I can pull it in still, keeping my lower back on the ground, getting a great stretch in my right glute. Some people notice that their knee comes in dramatically. I can use one hand, pull in, and push out, and you're gonna feel a nice stretch in the hip. We're gonna do that on both sides. Hold for about 30 to 60 seconds. After that, we're gonna go into our 90-90 position. So, as the says, 90-90 right here. Nice tall spine. If you're having a problem sitting in this position, you can always use a yoga block underneath you. And now I'm going to imagine that there's a clock in front of me. Here's noon. 1, and 11. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come with a very tall spine, lead with a proud chest, come forward, and I'm going to hold. 1, 2. Come back up, here, come down, 1, 2. Here, 1, 2. And I start over, and I'm going to hit each one of those for 2 seconds each, 5 times, and then come to the other side and perform the same pattern. Now, for some of you that need a little bit more of a challenge, we can go into what's called a pigeon stretch. And for a lot of people, this does become very difficult to perform. We're going to start on all fours. I'm going to bring my right knee forward. I'm going to try and put it at a 90-degree angle, and I'm just going to slide back here. And I'm going to sit again up with a nice proud chest, and I'm going to lean in from the hips. You'll see a lot of people drop down. Quite honestly, when I do this, I lose the feeling of the stretch. But I'm going to come here and hold. Now, if you want a little extra, a little bonus, I can actually take my right hand and reach across, still getting a great hip stretch and also getting a nice lat stretch. Those 3 exercises are really great in helping release tension in the hips. Here's a nice mobility exercise for the hips. So let's start with our knees bent in front of us, toes up. I'm directly on my heels. We'll start with our hands behind us. I'm going to let my knees fall to one side and then fall to the other, keeping a nice tall spine. We can let the body move a little and just getting some good internal and external rotation at the same time. Now, if you want to be challenged, we can take our hands off the ground from behind us, and now we can do it without our hands behind us. You'd want to do about 8 to 10 each side. If you want to add a little something into this, now we can come over, little bonus, up. As I do this, I'm getting a very nice hip flexor stretch. Control the body on the way down, come back up, and push. That last part, you can do 3 to 5 each side. These really help with great hip mobility. Our last mobility exercise for the hips is going to be a CARS. So that stands for controlled articular rotations. I'm going to put a ball here behind my knee, and I'm going to keep it squeezed. If you don't have a ball, it's not the end of the world. It just makes the exercise a little more difficult, and it maintains position of the leg. Up high, come around. Notice I'm always trying to maintain good stability here, there. If you need to reposition the ball, go ahead. Come back again the other way. And what I'm trying to do is trying to create as big of a circle with my hip coming up, around. Imagine there's a hurdle, up over it, here and back. And then I'd want to go back. We could do 5 each side of those. Another reason for our lower back troubles can be because we have weak glutes. So let's look at some really basic yet effective exercises at strengthening our glutes. Today we're going to add a little resistance around the knees. So if you have one of these elastic bands that you usually put around your ankles or knees, great. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. Let's take a look at how we can work this. Starting with our back flat, keeping neutral alignment, rib cage down. Here, glutes, we're going to fire our glutes. So you'll notice that I'm on my heels. I am going to keep my hands up. There is times where people like to push in the ground to lift up. Hands up kind of takes that away. What I want everyone to focus on when performing this exercise is if you have the band on, you don't want the knees coming together. Keep them apart. That's going to actually help activate the glutes. Drive the heels into the ground and squeeze the glutes, squeeze your bum together and lift. Come down slowly and lift. Notice I'm forming a straight line from my hips to my knees and down. Up and down. We'd want to do 12 to 15 repetitions. Once this starts becoming easy, we can now go up and hold for 5 seconds. But again, squeezing the glutes. They should feel rock hard, coming down and up. Once that starts becoming easy, we can get rid of the band and we can start doing single leg bridge. We'll lift one leg up, again, squeeze the glute, push the heel into the floor and lift. Come down, try not to touch the floor and lift. This starts becoming a lot more challenging. Now, if we really want to challenge our glutes, we can start using a Swiss ball. Same thing. Start 2 feet on the ball. Drive the heels in, palms up. You're going to notice as I come up, I'm forming a straight line now from my knees, hips to my shoulders. And come down with control. Perform for 12 to 15 reps. Once that becomes a little easier, we can come up, hold 5 seconds. Don't move. Come down under control. Drive again. We really have to focus the heels into the ball. Drive and squeeze. You should be able to feel your glutes that they're tight, tight, tight on. Yeah. And now the last one, single leg on the ball, up and down. Again, driving the heel into the ball and down. Again, for 12 to 15 reps. Remember one thing that's really important here. Don't proceed to the hardest exercise. If you have weak glutes, start at the beginning, and I'm telling you, within 3 months, you'll be at the hardest level. Take your time, progress normally, and it's going to really work in your favor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. There are your exercises for better hips, which in turn will help you have a healthier back. Not only will it help your lower back, but it's going to help your tennis game as well. Until the next time, thank you.